His name is Curt, a really funny guy, and this is his podcast, In the Wry. It's the In the Wry Podcast. Curt Fletcher.
Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. It's episode 61 in the Wry Podcast with Curt Fletcher. I believe it's episode 61. It is Tuesday night, and I am stoned. And I didn't bother to look up what episode number it was. But I'm pretty sure the last one was number 60. So, if my math is correct, this one would be 61. Thanks for tuning in. It's been about a month since I've recorded one. Been slacking a lot. Been slacking a lot. I really try to do these once a week, but I don't know, like 2 weeks go by and I'm like, oh shit, I should probably record a podcast. And then I'm like, oh shit, I have nothing to talk about. So, what can we talk about on this one? I don't know. I didn't plan anything. I am excited for a show I'm doing on Sunday night, October 30th, at Dry Heat Comedy Club. We are having a show, and all the local comedians get to perform as one of their favorite comedians, dead or alive. And last year, I performed as Zach Galifianakis, and it was pretty fun. We had the show at Inside Out, and the audio was horrible. So the show itself was really good. We had a lot of awesome comics performing as awesome comics. So that was really cool. I just wish the audio had been better. Would have made for a really awesome show. But this year it's at Dry Heat, which is awesome. They've got a good sound system and all that, and should be a fun show. I am performing as Troy Baxley, and I just burped a little bit. If you don't know who Troy Baxley is and you're a comedy fan, I would highly recommend looking him up. He doesn't have a whole lot of stuff on YouTube, but he has 2 albums on Apple Music, which is where I listen to music. But he's got 2 albums on there that are really funny. And I've talked about him on the podcast quite a few times. I should ask him if he wants to be on the podcast. That'd be pretty cool. I don't know if he would or not, but he's always been one of my favorites ever since I first saw him. The first time I got to work with him in 2003, and the first show we did together was in Espanola, New Mexico, the OK Casino, which is a terrible name for that casino. So I was hosting. Troy was headlining. And I remember just sitting and watching him, and I was just floored at how funny he was. Like, I'd seen really funny comedians at the comedy club that, I hadn't heard of and stuff like that, but this guy, there was just something about him, it was just like, okay, I gotta keep watching this guy. So I worked with him the entire week. We did Espanola Tuesday, and then we did Laughs in Albuquerque Wednesday through Sunday. So I got to watch him, I think 8 shows total. And it was one of the best weeks of my life, to be honest with you. Like, just seeing how funny he was every night without doing the same stuff every night. I don't know. It was cool to see. And it also made me wonder, like, why is this guy not famous? Like, he's funnier than a lot of famous people that I've listened to. And then over the years, I got to work with him a bunch, and I probably saw him perform at least 100 times, I'd imagine. And I don't know, he's just always been one of my favorites. Just a cool dude to work with, and very funny. So I'm excited to perform as him on Sunday nights. If anyone listening right now is a fan of Troy, send me some of your favorite jokes by him, and maybe I'll try to squeeze him in. I'm not sure how long of a set we get to do, but I've already got a couple favorites picked out. And it's really hard to narrow down what jokes I want to do because he's got so many good ones. So, and then of course I got to get the cadence down and all that, and his little sing-songy punchlines at the end of the jokes. Telling some jokes. So that's exciting. I'm excited for that show. My friend Holly Bird is performing as George Carlin, so that's going to be cool. So I don't think anyone performed as Carlin last year on our show. We had some really good ones, and I don't know, I haven't seen the lineup yet for this year, so I know Holly's doing George Carlin, and I know Jack Tapestry is doing Bill Hicks, because he did a really good job as Bill Hicks last year, so that's all I know for now. So if you're in Albuquerque, you want to see a cool show, that'll be a cool one on Sunday nights. Dry Heat Comedy Club. I don't know what time that one's at, but I mean, you have the internet, you can look it up. Yeah, I recently did a couple shows here in town. Actually, just one show here in town. I did let's see. I did Bow and Arrow Brewery, which was just this past Friday night, and it was cool. It was it's one of those gigs where there's a lot of people there, but they're not there for comedy. So you're just kind of like, hey guys, here's a comedy show to interrupt your conversation with your friend. And it worked out pretty good, though. I think everyone was pretty receptive to it, so that was cool. Tried out a lot of new material. Probably about half my set was new material, so that was cool. I feel like most of it went over pretty well. Yeah, I think it did. So now I just need to figure out where to put it in my act, which I'll be able to do. I've got 3 headlining shows coming up in Albuquerque in November. I'll mention those at the end, the venues and all that. So I'll be working on new material at those 3 shows. Anyways, last week, the week before, anyway, October 13th through the 16th, I was at the comic strip in El Paso, which I haven't been to in several years. And it's really cool being back. My buddy Steve McGrew asked if I would feature for him. And so that worked out nice. Even though I don't have a car, I had to take the Greyhound bus down there. And I've talked about the Greyhound bus on here before. The trip down there wasn't too bad. It was not a lot of people, so I had my own seat and everything, and got to sleep most of the way, which was nice. And then got to town at 2:30 in the morning, and my old friend Charlie Moreno picked me up, and we went to Whataburger and hung out for a couple hours, ate some food, and just talked comedy for a bit. That was fun. We laughed a lot. It was cool seeing Charlie. I don't get to see him very often anymore. He started out doing comedy in like 99, a couple years before me. And he used to come up to Laughs all the time. And he even lived in Colorado Springs for a bit, so I'd see him when I'd go up there. So always a cool guy to hang with. I always liked his comedy because he was dark. He had a lot of fucked up shit, and it always made me laugh. Like my favorite joke. He was talking about Selena, and he goes, "I was this close to seeing Selena once, and then the shovel broke." And that pisses off a lot of Selena fans, which makes it even funnier. But yeah, it was cool seeing Charlie. He actually quit doing comedy a few years ago. Which a lot of people do. It's not a great lifestyle sometimes. I just constantly, you have to be on the road constantly to make any money in this business, and I don't know, it's tough. Anyways, it was cool seeing Charlie, and got to see a few other El Paso comics that I hadn't seen in a while, so that was cool. I hadn't performed at the comedy club for I think 8 years. It was the last time I was down there. So I had done the first time I ever performed there was a guest set with Todd Yan. Is that how you pronounce it? I haven't seen that dude in years either, but I did a guest set, and Todd was always one of my favorite comics on the Bob and Tom show. He's always on there, and he came up to me after my set, and he looked all pissed off, and I was like, oh shit, I hope I didn't do anything to piss him off. And he goes, you made me spit my soda on my shirt. And I was like, oh shit, I'm sorry. He's like, no, that was great. He's like, you're unique. I like watching you. So I thought that was cool coming from Todd Yan. And then I ended up doing like 2 other weeks at the El Paso comic strip, 2 booked weeks. And I hadn't been there since 2014. So I don't know if I had a bad week or I don't know. I thought I did pretty well there, but some clubs are tougher to get back into. I like doing that club. It's close to Albuquerque, and the crowds are very similar to Albuquerque crowds as well. So they're a lot of fun. We did we did Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So we did 5 shows total, and they're kind of small crowds, but I thought they're pretty fun. Sunday was kind of, I don't know. They weren't great, but they weren't terrible either for how small the crowd was. No, excuse me. But no, even having smaller crowds, I thought they were a lot of fun. They laugh at a lot of fucked up shit. So thought that was pretty cool. I did try a few new jokes here and there down there, and they worked pretty well. So I was pretty excited about that. And then, but yeah, it was cool being in the area again. Because my brother used to live in El Paso, and one of my nephews was born there. So it's cool being down there again, and I don't know, the areas, there's a lot of good food in that area and stuff like that, so it's kind of cool. And it's kind of funny, we went to do a radio interview Friday morning, and so I booked an Uber like the night before, to come pick us up, because we had to be there at like 7:40 a.m. And me and Steve go down the lobby, and there's a car sitting outside, and it's got the hood up, and Steve's like, I hope that's not the Uber. And I was like, shit, me too. And it was. His car broke down. So he jogged over to the gas station and got some jumper cables and tried to jump his car, and that didn't work. So I was like, all right, well, we got to get over to the radio station. So we had to book another Uber. Got there just in time to do the radio show. That was pretty fun. We were on the Buzz Adams morning show. The host for the week, Nico, was he's one of the co-hosts on there, so that was super cool. And Nico's awesome. He's a super funny guy, really nice. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. But he's, like I said, funny dude. Really nice guy. So yeah, overall, I think it was a pretty fun week. Hopefully I'll get to go back next year sometime. Also ran into, a couple comics, like I said, Jibs, the Comagician, and Sam Butler, and Otis Hicks. They all came by to say hi and see the show, so that was cool. Then I had to take a Greyhound back home, and the only Greyhound they have is kind of at a weird time, so I had to catch the bus. I think it left there at like 3:05. So I just stayed awake all night, caught an Uber down to the bus station, and bus ride back to Albuquerque wasn't as fun. Well, I mean, the other one wasn't fun either. No Greyhound bus has ever been fun. It was more crowded. Bus driver, it was his first day on that route and his second day driving, and he got lost. He missed the exit. There's only one stop on the way back, and it was in Las Cruces. He missed the exit for that, so he had to turn off at the next exit, go back, and I don't know, a bunch of people were kind of giving him directions on where to go because he had no clue. I figured, they should have GPS or some shit, or have someone that knows their route pretty well. But, oh well. Got to Albuquerque like an hour later than I was supposed to. But overall, yeah, it was a fun trip to El Paso. Would have been nice if I had my car there so I could have done more stuff, but got a lot of walking in, which is good for my exercise, I guess, since I drink so many energy drinks and burn those shitty calories off, I guess, and all the pizza that I eat. I eat a lot of pizza. Man, this is really going nowhere. I thought maybe I'd come up with a topic to talk about while I was talking, but it's not really happening. Which is cool. Plus, I'm getting tired, so maybe I'll just wrap it up. But yeah, here's a list of my shows coming up. In Albuquerque, October 30th, Dry Heat Comedy Club as Troy Baxley. November 5th at The Bite, which is on Central. November 25th at the Guild Theater, also on Central, right on the same block as The Bite. The Guild Theater is awesome, by the way. I love that place. Super excited to be on stage there again. I got to do they're doing a double screening of they were doing The King of Comedy with Robert De Niro, and then they were doing Lenny, which is a movie about Lenny Bruce, played by Dustin Hoffman. And so they're doing like a double feature every night of the week, and they had me come in and host. They had me do like 15 minutes of comedy before the movies started, and I would also get to introduce the film. So it was kind of cool. I would do like 15 before The King of Comedy came on. It would go over, let people come in and out, and a lot of people stayed for the second movie too. So I did like a different 15 minutes, just so they weren't bored with the 15 I had done previously. So that was really cool, and I had never seen those movies before. So not only did I get to see them for free, I got paid to watch them pretty much. So it was cool. My other headline gig in November will be the 26th at B2B Garden Brewery, which is another cool venue that I've performed at before. They've got really good food and drinks over there. And all this stuff is on my website, funnyfletcher.com. like all the dates and times and all that. And I usually post a flyer on the event on my schedule also. So, man, yeah. Ugh. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this one up. Thanks for listening, though. Yeah, like I said earlier, if you have any favorite Troy Baxley jokes, send them my way, and I'll see if I can squeeze them into the set. I'll also post a video. I'll try to get video anyway of the show, and then hopefully get that posted up on my YouTube page, which you should be following right now. I only have 77 subscribers right now, you guys. It's not very good. If you want me to headline comedy clubs, I'm not gonna get there with 77 subscribers. You know what I mean? So go over to YouTube and click subscribe. Oh man, I'm getting weird. It's getting late. I'm getting more stoned as the time goes by. Saying more dumb shits. So I'm going to log off of here and hopefully be able to edit this a little bit and put it out there on the internet. Yeah. Well, thanks for tuning in, you guys. Hope you guys are all doing well. And we'll try and record another one before a month. We'll see how that goes. All right. Talk to you later, everybody. Bye. You guys like doggy style? You guys doggy style fans? Yeah. Nah. Yeah. Someone say no? You say no, man? Hell no, face to face, baby.
I like to make eye contact.
Oh, gross. I don't want people to see my face.